If April showers bring May flowers, then what does the 1st of June being cold and rainy mean? Hi, my name is Ronnie and I love to read. So this is my May wrap up, and I'd like to say that May was a really great month for reading, but I can't. Just kidding, yes I can. I read 4 books and I'm currently reading 2 books and I'm almost done with 2 books and I went to bookcon and May was great and I had a really fun May and yeah, May was great. May was really great. I'll be posting 2 videos about bookcon. One is going to be like a haul of all the stuff I got at bookcon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That'll probably be posted later this week. And then I'll be posting my experience, I'll probably be posting my experience at bookcon first, because I met so many people and I got so many things signed and it was just so much fun. And I'm also going to talk about it because it was my first real bookish event, and next year's going to be in Chicago. And I don't want to mention this because my mom has not confirmed, but my mom says she's never been to Chicago and she'd like to go, and I read 5 books. 2 of them were ebooks, 1 of them was from the library, and 1 of them was borrowed from my friend, and then I have 1. So I'm going to start with that one. So let's start. So with all the buzz about The Air coming out, and everyone being like, oh, The Air, it was so good, oh my god, The Air, 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 you literally could not go on Instagram without seeing The Air, 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 The Air. So I finally gave in to the pressure, and I read the selection. Now, I know, I put off reading this series for so long because a lot of people were like, yeah, it's a good series, but the America character, the main character, is, really annoying. And so I was like, I hate books with an annoying character. So I was like, I'm not going to read the selection. I have no interest in reading a book with a dumb main character. But then everyone was like, oh, The Air is so good. And I gave in to the peer pressure, and I read the selection, and it was good. And I don't know why everyone was saying that America's a brat, because yes, she's in a dumb situation. I have 2, amazing guys fighting over me. What do I do? What was me? I might die. Yes, that is what... It's kind of a petty situation because her main focus is choosing which guy when the rebels are attacking and all the ish. But she's not that annoying. She's a teenage girl, okay? I'm sorry. I think it's actually more realistic than a lot of the teen girl protagonists, because teenage girls, their main concern is guys and their friends in the mall. If given the choice between thinking about the fact that rebellious people from their country might take over the government or 2 hot guys fighting over her, what would you choose if you're a teenage girl? I don't know. If you're a teenage girl, let me know in the comments what you would pick. Hot guys, worrying about hot guys versus worrying about your government. Because to me it seems kind of obvious. So I think this was a realistic representation of a teenage girl character. So pairing with that, I read The Elite, and I haven't read 1 yet, but I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna read The Air, and so on and so on and so on. There's no more books. What am I talking about? Well, next, to complete my TBR challenge of the month, which was read a book recommended to you by someone else, my friend recommended me the book by Zoella on YouTube, Girl Online, which was I almost just said so good. And it was so good up until the 3/4 of the way, and I love Zoe. She is so fun and so cute, and I loved the concept of the book, but the ending was kind of rushed. The whole conflict was just it was just the resolution, 1 paragraph. And I felt like we didn't get enough conflict. It was 3 chapters of conflict. It was 20 chapters of build-up, and then 2 chapters of conflict, and then 1 chapter of resolution. And I feel like that was not the way to space it out. And now she's writing a sequel, so I don't know if that's going to have something to do with finishing the ending, but I don't know. So in preparation for bookcon, because I knew that Rainbow Rowell, whatever, was going to be there. And unfortunately, as you will find out in my bookcon video, I did not end up getting to go to anything that had to do with Rainbow Rowell. I can't. But I wanted to read more books by her because all I'd read was Fangirl, and I'm planning on reading Carry On when it comes out March. So I read Eleanor and Park, and it's like, it was so good. And I read it on an ebook, so I like, when I'm reading a book, you know how when you're reading a book, I'm using this selection because it's right here. You know when you're reading a book and you're reading it and you can like see that you're halfway through it and you're like, I'm halfway through it. I'm almost done. I've got 10 pages left. Like that, like when you're feeling the book, and that's why I like to read, like real books. But, I mean, I can read my ebook on my laptop during class, so. Shh. But with the ebook, it was like, when I was like halfway through, I didn't feel like I was halfway through because I got through it so fast because it was so good. And I was looking and I was like, they're already together? I've only been reading for like an hour. And then I was like, it's so soon in the book. And then I was like, oh, just kidding. I'm like done with it already. Oops. But it was so good. I gave it 10 out of 10. Rainbow, please, just, I want all the books. But next for ebooks, I finally finished, drumroll please, City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. I put this off for many a year. I did not start reading the Mortal Instruments, the Shadowhunters, whatever, the whole thing until like October of this year. But then
I read the first one in ebook form, and then I've gotten the first one. I'm still missing City of Glass, so if any of you fun people want to send me a first edition copy of Paperback City of Glass, because they match my other ones. Like, I had decided to buy the real book, and then they only had a paperback, and I was like, I can't wait any longer to read City of Fallen Angels. I can't, because at this point I didn't know that the Theme from Devices was in between, and I'm dumb, and I don't research. So I had to get them all paperback, because they have to match. So when I found out that City of Heavenly Fire didn't come out in paperback until like March of this year, I was like, I don't even know if it's in paperback. I might have to get it in hardcover because it's such a huge book.
But I ended up reading it on ebook. Well, I started reading it on ebook and I got halfway through and I was like, this is so good, but I really can't bear for this series to be over. And that was before I knew about the Dark Artifacts and I knew that she was writing a new series. I feel like Cassandra Clare is going to write about the Shadowhunters until she dies, literally. Until she dies. So yeah, I finished it. I read it, like, it was on my phone, the ebook was on my phone, and I read it in lines at bookcon, and it was really hard for me, because I kept gasping, like, for example, oh, spoiler alert, if you haven't read City of Heavenly Fire, just mute this. For example,
when Simon offered his immortality instead of Magnus, I was like, whoa. And then I was like, okay, so he's gonna be back to a normal kid, like, and then the demon was like, no, I want all your memories, and I was like, no! But then Magnus is like Ascension, and Simon remembered a little bit, and then Simon and Izzy like held hands, and Claire and Jay talked about futures together, and Jocelyn and Luke finally got married, and I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. Like, I'm actually tearing up. I'm really sad it's over, but at the same time, I'm glad I finally like got that out of the way. Not got it out of the way because I enjoyed every minute of it. But like, you know what I mean.
So I'm currently in the middle of 2 books, and I have one of them over there, but like, I'm so lazy, I'm not even gonna go get it. Basically, I participated in something from one of my teachers. I sang the national anthem at a 5K in my town. And to thank me, even though she totally didn't need to thank me because it was a great opportunity, she gave me a $20 gift card to our local bookstore. And I was like super psyched. I rarely go into the that bookstore because I order most of my books online, but I was still like so psyched. I was like, yes, I'm gonna go in. I was planning on buying City of Heavenly Fire, actually. I'm gonna go in, get City of Heavenly Fire, get out, go to BookCon, great plan. But I walked in there with this gift card, and their YA section is so weak. It's like one shelf, and the only book on the shelf that I hadn't read yet, it was like 10 copies of The Fault in Our Stars, 12 copies of Looking for Alaska, 7 of Paper Towns, all the Sarah Dessen books, and not one Cassandra Clare book. Not one of them! So anyway, I found this book. It was called I Will Always Write Back. I don't know the authors. It's a true story. It's not a novel. It's a true story, non-fiction. And it's so interesting. I would go more into it, but this video is getting kind of lengthy, so I won't go into it. But I'm halfway done, and I'll finish it, and then I might do a video on it. I'm just so into this book. Also, I'm in the middle of reading Throne of Fire. I'm saying that right? Hopefully. Throne of Fire from the Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan, and let me tell you, I just think it's so cool. Like, it's such a good series. I can't believe I didn't know this before, like, when I was like, I don't want to read it. But now I'm like, Dad, buy me the next book or I will cut you up. So now, to wrap up this wrap-up video, I'm gonna pick my next TBR challenge from my candy box. So many more months in the series. Oh no, I was dreading this one. I was really, like, dreading this one. Read a classic novel. I don't want to read a classic novel. Well, I guess this month I'll be reading a classic novel, which is about, I don't know, I literally don't know what it, maybe I'll read Pride and Prejudice. My sister seemed to really like that book, and she doesn't like to read. I'll figure something out, and I'll let you know in my next video. So for now, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you in like 2 days when I talk about BookCon. Bye!